to Wine Library TV. I'm your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. And this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, a.k.a. the Internet's most passionate wine program. And as you can see, this is the most guests we've ever had on the show. I've never had 3 guests at the same time. 2 yes, never 3. Boys, you've popped my 3-guest cherry.
Record-breaking day.
How do you guys feel about that?
Feels big.
These guys are great characters in the wine world, and I'm going to let them, however they decide to do this, explain who they are, and then we have a very huge announcement. You know, I guess Wine Library TV is starting to get to a good place. We're unveiling. This is like a world premiere, I think, right?
It says right there, world debut.
World debut, March 9th. Did you think that is today the 9th? You know we air this today.
Oh, do you?
Do you want me to air it tomorrow?
Yeah.
We're going to air it tomorrow. March 9th, baby.
Grand opening.
Grand opening. Is it a typo?
Yeah.
No, it's a typo? That's awesome. So, why don't you tell the Vayner Nation, however you guys roll, who you all point at each other. You can move a little bit. So, tell them who you guys are.
So we started our thing in...
Well, first tell them who you are.
I'm Charles Beeler. I'm one of the thieves. This is Joel Gott. And this is...
Roger Scamania.
We started a little program called Three Thieves in 2003. And against all odds, our first release was a 1-liter jug. You guys remember that?
I do.
We thought it was funny. We thought it was interesting. The wine was delicious. It sold for about $10 retail. And, you know, most people thought we'd fail immediately, and
including myself,
and actually including one of the partners.
Did you think you thought it was a
I thought it was the dumbest idea we ever did.
Really?
Yeah.
But you know, we rolled it anyway into college towns, and it sparked something, and it sparked a whole.
Tell me about this college towns real quick. I mean,
Well, I assume that you know
that was literally the marketing plan.
Absolutely, the marketing plan. It was.
You actually had a marketing plan. Which is probably why you succeeded. Which is really the problem for so many people in the wine business.
It was not a written marketing plan, but it was.
Those are always the worst.
Yeah, well, I quite agree. I can't write, so that's.
But the highlight was we were at that point in time in 2003. There was amazing bulk wine on the market. So what you could buy on the market was unbelievable. So you could go out to different wineries, buy these bulk wines, which you could assemble from the bulk market was amazing quality.
Which is really the backbone of how things like the famous one being $2 Chuck even were able to get out there and create something drinkable at $3, and you guys made something even better and more drinkable at was it a liter or was it
1 liter? Yeah,
1 liter jug for a $10 wine.
Absolutely, and it had a ton of attitude, and that was the other thing. You know, a jug is, if it was next to a Carlo Rossi, it's not that ironic, but if it's in like a fine wine shop being sold to college kids and the wine's delicious, and then there's like, what's happening here? It was a little bit of tension and a little bit of discovery, and hopefully make people smile.
It was one of those things that you found something that other people didn't know about, so it was the discovery point, and the wine was better than the experience.
It's like that indie band, right?
Oh,
it's
completely.
like it's like that website all the tech nerds love, like that nobody knows about, and as soon as everybody does, they're off of it kind of thing. I mean, it had that kind of thing to it.
Absolutely.
We couldn't keep it in stock. I mean, one of the things was it was allocated. I mean, we'd walk into a place and a distributor would say, give us a couple pallets, and we're like, we don't have any. It's allocated. We can give you 30 cases. And so we became the first allocated jug of wine.
I love that.
But as soon as it shifted...
I think Almaden was allocated when it first launched.
Sutter Home White's
Before
In
you guys were
was...
born.
Sutter Home White's In was.
For sure.
Yeah,
was.
for sure. Yeah.
Crazy.
But as soon as we took it, outside of the independent retailers and to the supermarket shelves, sort of lost its sort of reason for being. Yeah, absolutely. It was.
People didn't get it anymore.
It's just like
and then it was
jug
a
in
bad
the bottom
bulk
of the
year
shelf.
too. So you started to have less interesting wine, mass audience, and then falls apart.
So we were entrepreneurs, and we had to figure out, what the next thing was, and we got this sort of reputation for being sort of daring, being innovative, a little bit of daring, and
you guys are on the younger side.
Yeah.
Very good-looking bunch.
We were a lot younger then.
Yeah. And so you got some cachet. That was a big hit. I mean, listen, that was a big hit. I remember, you know how much I love the marketing and the entrepreneur stuff, and there's not a lot going on in our industry. So, it's just not a very innovative business. It just isn't, considering what it is. It surprises me, and so I remember that quite fondly.
Yeah. Well, it was our spark. So then it went from there to box wine. We're doing these 1 liter bandits, and that was sort of the next.
How was that?
Trials, errors, disasters, recalls. I mean, a lot of things that we learned in the beginning because people weren't really doing it on the U.S. side. So we started in Italy, then we started doing it in Oregon.
Our first
California
release
juice.
was a Trebbiano from Emilia Romagna.
Which
in
is
a-
an
in a
uphill
1 liter
battle.
box.
That's an uphill start.
And you know what?
To
It
a
was
long
delicious.
race.
And
That
it
was the
was.
good news.
And it's really a volume wine for us. It's making it into a large percentage of grocery stores.
You know, the last 3 years, it's been a Schenken Impact Growth Award winner. I mean, it's become a workhorse for us.
What kind of case production is it now?
Over 200.
It's a big number.
1,000.
Frightening.
Oh, I know. I know it's not 200 either. Sorry, yeah, 200,000. Okay.
But the most amazing thing about that is just the ability to take the packaging costs and translate that into wine costs. So you can spend more money on the package and still have the same retail price with the same COGS. So
And is that a little bit of the foundation of you guys? I mean, obviously you are coming from an entrepreneurial marketing standpoint that you feel, especially Joel, you had a reputation with your brand of producing really great wines for the price. I'm sure you're bringing that kind of sensibility to this team, that you guys can find juice that is, and broker and barter and do whatever you have to do in the entrepreneurial way to get juice that is so undervalued that you can overextend yourselves on the marketing and the branding and the packaging and then still deliver a product that's under the value of the market.
So it's essentially, I mean, that's what we try to look at in every
You
product.
like how I
that we
recap that?
I was going to try to write it down, but I read it.
Put that on,
Right?
put that on the business plan.
You can rewind.
We'll
There's
watch
your
it
business
later.
plan.
But
But I mean,
that-
that's what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
But that goes to like the
Brilliant.
Malbec, right? Is looking at that region. We
Don't talk
want-
about the Malbec yet. We haven't. We're still doing
sorry.
history.
No. But I mean,
You're
that
taking some
goes,
of the suspense
so,
out of it.
so for like why is Pinot Grigio the big thing for us with Bandit, right?
Right.
The Tetras is because that is where the best value is that we can buy out of California. Work winery to winery
Right,
to winery.
because they should have
and
never
find-
planted that stuff in the first place. Sorry, California.
Hey, you'd be surprised though.
He gave us
Actually,
a
even
good
on this
plug.
show,
You gave
I
us a
think
great
you brown
plug.
bagged some Pinot Grigios, and maybe it was
Oh, that-
brown bag.
Yeah, but I also gave Voga a 48, which is tough because I give 50
Is
for
that
just being a wine. So no, you're right. And listen, I think I'm taping some shows now. I'm doing a piano from Sagacio. So people are trying to start doing the white wine varietals in California from Italy, which is interesting to watch.
The box wine is, we thought that why put a wine together for special occasions? We wanted to be wine for Tuesday. And that's what the Bandit was about. It was a midweek wine. It was that wine you don't feel guilty about opening. It tasted good. It's not the best wine you ever had, but it's good.
So the 03 jug comes out.
Yeah.
What year does the Tetra Pak box? 1
A year
liter
later.
Tetra Pak, right?
1 liter Tetra Pak,
Right.
exactly.
So that
We
came
were
out
1
in
liter
04.
guys. Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
You were pumped
Good.
about
Yeah.
that. And there was some, trial
I'm
and error
still
there.
pumped about it.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's a little yellow now.
Then what happens? Then what happens next?
What do we do next?
Well, we start moving wine, and all of a sudden our buying power is good. And
When did the show come out?
The show came out in
5 vintage Aspen, so it would have been
06.
2006. 2
Yeah.
years later.
2 years later, as a California project.
Yeah.
correct.
and we had some fantastic Cabernet. We really didn't know where to put it, and met the people from Hatch Show Print, made a super bold, cool label, put a cool wine in it, and that's taken off.
And you know why 05? 05 because it's a huge year in California, right?
Huge.
4.1 million tons or something crazy like
Huge.
that, which is equates to the largest bulk year ever. So there was a ton to buy. Even though the wine market was hot, we could still tap into a lot of resources that needed to peel off lots and peel off different blenders. And we're going to see that again out of this last vintage, out of the 09 vintage. It was big enough
But-
with the economy
but-
tanking.
The difference between 05 and 09 is the wine market's very different. So I have to assume that means that's
On the consumer side.
That's correct. That means that there's going to be a lot of opportunity for guys like you in 09.
The most amazing thing that we saw this last harvest was even before people converted it from grapes to wine was people wanting to sell us the grapes.
While
Look,
it's still there.
we'll take a loss. You already have a contract at $5,000 a ton. We'll sell it to you for $2,000. They're just going to eat the $3,000. It's cheaper for them.
Good day for negotiant.
So
great.
So, no question. I mean, we're seeing crazy opportunities, on finished wine, obviously, as a retailer, which is why we started that site, Cinderella Wine. I mean, when you can sell $70 wine for $29.99, people are going to be pumped. I mean, this is where innovation and opportunity definitely comes through. So, fine. So, you do the show cab, that comes out in the 06 vintage, that does well. So now here we are, present day, March 9th.
One in between
Oh, I'm sorry?
relationship with the late Paul Newman.
That's right. I forgot about that.
We had a great opportunity to work with Newman's
Right.
Own. he had a vision to extend his food empire into wine and continue to raise money. And it's how do you say no to Paul Newman?
You don't.
You don't. And it's one of the most fulfilling things I've ever been a part of. And Cab and Ashard and now.
And what's going on with that brand now?
It's the Newman's Own is at home in a supermarket, and so certainly that's where our opportunities are. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and
Cabernet #1 by far. I mean, that's the workhorse. Chardonnay.
What is it? What, like a $12, $13 brand?
No, it's at this point it's about 10. Yeah.
So well priced, iconic legend label. Goes
Absolutely
to a
right.
great
For that
cause.
consumer
Absolutely.
too,
Goes for a great
good,
cause.
clean, fruit-forward style winemaking.
And 100% of the profits Newman donates to charity.
Yeah, no,
So-
he was an amazing guy.
Incredible. Did he? No, never on the show.
No, almost, but then he got sick.
Yeah.
He just never made it happen. Too bad. Okay, so now here we are, on March 9th.
Yeah.
And
Sure as you know.
and this is the new show release.
Yes, it is.
I screwed it up earlier.
I know,
I don't want to lead in now.
I really like your shirt. What kind of brand is this?
Gucci.
No,
It is.
Patagonia. Is it? Oh my God, it is.
That's the
Patagucci.
Patagooch.
It's the Patagooch.
Yeah.
It's organic cotton though. See, I'm doing something. This is organic cotton.
This is like we take children.
It's like herding cats with these guys.
It's a nice shirt.
Thank you.
I like it. Okay, so
My stylist, Charles, got it for me.
Charles is
Today's
so
shoot,
cool,
yeah.
right? Do you remember when Charles used to wear like pink suits to the Skurnik tastings?
Yeah. I may wear one on Wednesday.
You're going to?
Possibly.
You should. You should bring it
If
back.
you turn up, maybe I will.
I can't. I don't like Harmon and Michael. Just kidding. How can I not like them? They're
Can I text Harmon
They're
really quick?
diehard Jet fans. I love those guys. I love those. You want to talk about innovators? Those guys actually innovated in the wholesale market back in the day, and that's why they're successful. So now you guys come out with a Malbec.
Yeah.
So you're clearly, when you started thinking about this, well, it's 09 vintage, so you couldn't be thinking about it too long. How long have you been planning a extension in the show?
Well, it's really about opportunities.
Yeah.
And,
How-
And that's how you guys basically roll, right?
We
Like
planned
if
it
tomorrow
day
I
one.
call you from Greece and I'm like, I got some crazy ass Greek white wine
We're
that
there.
should sell for like $40 a bottle, I'll
When's the
sell
next
to you
flight?
for $1. You guys are going to check it out.
Well, at $1 we
Yeah.
just buy.
I like how you think. I like how you think.
It's
Yeah.
really the opportunity, and what we're really looking at is the ability to buy wine at an amazing price, kind of take advantage of the situation between the peso and the dollar. The people there are wonderful people making fantastic wine, and we kind of lay
So
out
if the
and say,
opportunity is there and the people behind it are worthwhile to work with,
Right.
that
So,
becomes
because
really-
we have a production partnership.
Sure.
We're obviously not there.
you're
to
the
come in.
marketers in a lot of ways, and you get into the helping make the wine, but you've got to have that back end. You're not buying vineyards
No.
No.
yet.
Where the
Are you
wine
buying
business
vineyards?
is going.
I'm not buying
No,
vineyards. No, I'm buying websites. So Malbec is obviously ripping hot. I've said in a lot of places and publicly speaking, Malbec is like almost borderline the new Pinot Noir. The sales are through the roof. There's enormous demand.
I think it's going to go way farther than that. Than Pinot.
I think that there's the price points are more attractive, right?
Absolutely.
When Pinot got hot, all of a sudden $12 Pinot was $20, and that eliminated people from the market. Malbec has almost gone the other way.
It performs so well in that sort of $8 to $15 range.
That it has more upside. The only thing I'm worried about is it just fizzles out because Pinot is more, in my opinion, for my palate, more distinct flavor profile, whereas Malbec has its distinctions, but there are a lot of things you can taste that kind of get closer
Are you
to
shorting
acting like
Malbec
it.
stock right now?
What's that?
Are you shorting Malbec
Heavily.
stock?
No, but you know what? I'll be honest with you. I do feel like Malbec. I think your rationale is correct, and I think ultimately you're right. I think because of the price point and what you get dollar for dollar from Malbec, it's going to be attractive. There's a lot of people watching right now who drink $17 Cabernet or $12 to $18 Shiraz on a semi-daily basis that are going to try a wine. Whether your Malbec might suck, we're about to find out. But is going to find a Malbec that's $8 to $9 to $12 that's going to do it for them.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Pinot, it's tough to find a lot of varietals that do it for you when you're a hardcore Pinot drinker.
Absolutely.
And the prices went up. Malbec hasn't gone up.
I find with Pinots, though, people freak out because the flavor profile from one Pinot to another is so dramatically different.
Well,
and
you mean the
get
people
the
that
shock.
you mean the people that cheat and pour Syrah into their Pinot?
Yeah, whatever else they can't get rid of.
Yes, exactly. Blue Portuguese.
Yeah.
I think that's a valid point, but I still think that where you're probably right is the price point's going to be the bigger factor. The fact that people, even though Malbec's hot, their favorite Malbec didn't go from 9 to 16. Their favorite Malbec went from $9 to $7.99 because there's just like more competition, more going on.
And remember, Argentina's been producing a lot of wine for a lot of time,
For a long
consumed a lot of it internally.
Yeah.
The world didn't really know about it. Argentina's just passing Chile this year.
That's right.
For exports.
Why don't you guys make a Tarantis?
Toronto?
Yeah.
Believe me, we're looking at.
I think that is, I'm very bullish on that varietal. People like it.
I'm into it.
We got a couple you should check out.
You should make like a sparkling one in like a old seltzer bottle.
I got it.
I'll text you. Okay, so fine. So
But what I was trying to say, you interrupted me here.
You just made every single Vaniac's year.
No, but the quality is going to get better and better too. I think as.
So you're saying this is not that good, and then everybody should wait for the next.
No. I'm talking. Sorry, I'm talking Malbec in general.
I see.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you clarified that. Yeah, no. Not referring to this.
Yeah.
I think with greater emphasis on exports and more competition, I think the quality of Malbec is going to be every year going to get better and better.
I'll be honest with you. My biggest concern for Malbec is, and it's ironic. This is what I actually say, but I know how you guys roll. So you guys are I'll give you a pass. This is not because they're sitting here, but they've heard me say it. Here comes the businessmen. I mean, Malbec is, the numbers are there, and now here come all the companies and all the businessmen, and everybody's sitting in a corporate room right now. Now, you guys are cool, and you figure it out, and that's why you'll be successful, but there's the douchebag version of you three right now, sitting in 17 different corporations saying, all right, we're going to call our Malbec the Monster Malbec, and they're going to slap a lot of money behind it, and there's going to be a ton, not a few, a crap load of bullcrap Malbec in the U.S. market next year.
Potentially.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And I think that's when the brand of Malbec gets into a place where it can be concerned.
Because they'll have like a focus group doing it.
Of course.
And then you're going to end up with something bland.
And then you're going to have 16 of those, and they're going to put dollars behind it and have end caps at, Costco, and people are going to taste it, and they're going to say, like so many U.S. consumers do, oh crap, I don't like Malbec.
Yeah.
That's my concern for Malbec.
Have you seen that happen with other varietals?
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways that's what happened to low-end Spanish wines. I think that's what exactly happened. Jorge and Solomon and all these guys, everybody, what carbonic maceration and all this stuff came in. All of a sudden, all these $12 Spanish wines hit the market. I think that's what happened in Australia. I think Australia and Spain have very much the blueprint that I'm concerned for Malbec, because you get the marketing and business people in, and people are making bullcrap wine. They don't have that element of having a partner that makes sure the wine's good. You have a lot of junk come in. However, press was still pretty high on it. And you had a lot of $90.8, Spanish wines that sucked, and people started getting tired of them.
That's interesting, right?
But when you
You
look
like
at
that, right?
Argentina,
I'm not just a pretty
Yeah,
face. I think about this
yeah.
stuff.
But
No,
Gallo's been down there hard already, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Gallo's the #1 lead out of Argentina.
Yeah, but Gallo, believe it or not, is not even really what I'm worried about. I'm much, much more worried about these.
Gallo's doing a tremendous job between Alamos and Gascon.
I think so. I mean, that's not who I'm worried about. I'm worried about every fly-by-night, medium-sized wine company, 7 to 10 entrepreneurs. I mean, I've literally gotten 3 emails this month, February. 3 separate emails. Hey, Gary, this guy wanted me to invest in this new venture. I don't know if you heard, Malbec's hot. I mean, people that are like, it's bad news.
Because when we were down there looking for partners.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of bad product and a lot of
tons.
No, but here it is. This is the typical winemaking thing down there. Here's all your blenders. Taste our wines. Here's our inventory. Oh, you want it to be what? Yeah, here you go. A lot of that
Well, that's what I mean.
Make whatever you want to have.
To me, that's to me, we're in a very interesting spot in the wine world, and now we're getting all like businessy, philosophical. I hope you can bear with us. Where the brands or the sub-regions really need to define their marketing, because I don't think it's enough to be like, say, Malbec, because you're going to have all that stuff on the market. You passed on it because you guys know what the hell you're doing. But the entrepreneur that comes down there, he's going to be like, wait, $4 a bottle, $4.50 a bottle? $4 a bottle. And even the $4.50 wasn't that good, right? I mean, and then there's a lot of Malbec coming. And I just wonder, how is it going to be defined? Are we going to get to a place where single vineyards or sub-regions are going to mean something? Or are we going to be in a place going forward in the wine world, because I'm seeing this happen every time now, where the brands are going to have to become even more distinct.
Well, that's why we got a big bright label.
Yeah, no, I think you guys do it. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I think you do it well. I think the concern is this started off the riff of you saying, you're right, there is going to be better and better stuff. The problem is there's going to be a lot more
But I think, but your audience, I mean, they're pretty educated. They're watching your show.
Yeah, no
they're
question.
learning, and they're going to proper retailers. And,
I think you're right.
Hopefully these retailers are filtering.
The problem is the majority of wine is not sold in proper retailers, and, that's who are going to stack these wines.
Don't underestimate the Argentinians. They were some sharp people down there. A lot of people that have been there a long time, and the sharp ones know what they're doing.
1,000. I'm not underestimating them at all, but that's like saying don't underestimate bald-headed guys. I mean, great for all 7 great Argentinian businessmen. There's 63 douchebags.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's.
This is not a I'm down in Argentina.
No,
I'm just like, this is now becoming a cycle that being in the business long enough, you start seeing. I'm convinced that this brand Malbec is going to get beaten down like a dead horse. That there's going to be so much pushed through this market over the next 36 months, and I'm so curious what happens on the other side.
So how
because Australia and Spain are hurting
Right.
under $12 on the other side.
But how important do you think it was to have Paul Hobbs and Michelle Roland playing down there for so long?
And Susanna Babo and some other people establishing. I think just as important as it was that, Penfolds and Lewin, and just as important as it was Lopez de Heredia and, Muga, I mean, I don't think they can stop a wave of marketing and branding and press, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking purely on the winemaking
And listen,
side.
this is really like, just interesting banter, and I hope, you guys are enjoying it, because I'm pumped, I'm enjoying this. It's interesting, because literally, I don't know if you guys look, I think you're so in your world, but you're paying attention. Australian Shiraz at $12 isn't a very bad. Nobody's in good shape being in that business.
Right.
Nobody.
$12. I've tried most price points in Australia.
Oh, I don't even talk about wine over $35 right now. It's most people are really, really struggling.
So
even the total super high end established brands.
I mean, they're being more. They have to. There's some. That's a good way to put it. They're just being more aggressive. I mean, I never thought Caymus or Schaefer would come with deals if you do right. No, what they're doing is they're being smart. They're trying not to make sure their brands get hurt, but they're willing to negotiate. Different brands are all across the world. I mean, from Gaia and Ornellaia all the way down. I mean, you guys are people are in tough businesses right now. If they're watching at home and they have a vineyard, they're gonna look outside. They've got stuff growing, and they've got to
do something with it.
They got to do something with it. I mean, this stuff. This is not like making watches where you could start buying the gadgets. They've made their investment on, fields and real estate and land and, the weather and those plants. They don't know about the market. They just produce. And, I mean, when I think about the way you guys are positioned and the reason you guys have been successful is, as you guys know, there's 11 of you that really know how to do this business. There's not a lot of people that do what you guys do well. There's a couple of people, Sebastiani's do it well, and some, there's some other people. There's not a lot. And if I'm thinking about retiring right now from WineLibraryTV and Wine Library doing it, because it's going to be a very lucrative market. You guys will produce a wine in 24 months that is obnoxious. You guys produce extremely good value wine. I think you're going to produce. I think you're going to produce a wine that's worth $50 and sell for $9.99. It's gonna be outrageous.
Well,
that's 4 hours on an airplane.
I think that though, because you guys did it in a tougher market. So now what?
A lot of opportunity.
A lot of opportunity. You're gonna have to be selective.
Frequent flyer miles. Let's
Yeah.
keep going.
Okay.
But that goes back to like when we were down there tasting.
Oh, this is well past a one-part show, Matt. Don't worry. It got into business talk, and I'm just gonna ramble.